Hi, I'm Lauren from Lauren's Veggie Kitchen. Today I'm going to talk to you about WordPress.com and WordPress.org. I'm going to share a little bit about the differences between each and how you can set up a website on WordPress.com or WordPress.org. And I'm going to go really in depth with all of the settings available on WordPress and customization options to get your content looking just how you want it. So let's dive in. I did want to talk a little bit about, different ways of setting up your blog. You want to make sure that you have selected a really good theme for your blog. I've got the Futica theme, which is available with WordPress.com for free. It's really nice because, it crops all of the images to the same size, makes it look really neat and organized that way. And you have options for this sidebar over here, which I like to promote products that I'm an affiliate for in this sidebar over here. And then you can scroll through images, the featured images at the top, and it looks really nice and neat and clean. I've got my menu right here of, to navigate to different pages on my site. And so, for instance, if you go to recipes, so I would recommend having a recipes page and featuring your recent recipes, as well as categories that people might want to navigate to, so that, if they were looking for just main dishes, um, they could get some ideas, or if they were looking for side dishes, and so think about how people search and what types of ideas they might be searching for recipes on your site, and create a page structure where, see, like, all of these are separate pages that are on my blog that are linked to on this main recipes page. So, I mean, I've got a lot of pages on here, but it's all really well organized so people can go directly to the category that they're trying to get to, and they can find exactly what they want. You want to make sure that you have a good structure set up like that. I'm pretty happy with this site for now, but I do kind of, I think it's nice and clean and appealing to look at, and easy to navigate, and I'm super satisfied with it. But I will say that I'm hoping to improve it even more. So as far as blogs that I am inspired by, I wanted to show you a couple examples. This is Budget Bites, and the story is really inspiring. She actually is studied to be a dietitian, and then she had a hard time making ends meet after graduating and having to pay off student loans and everything. And she was on a super tight budget, and she created this idea of how she could budget her meals and eat healthy for $6 a day or less. And so it's a super, super amazing idea. Like, everybody loves Budget Bites. It's super popular. You've probably heard of it before. But if you look at her website, you'll notice it's very like custom branded, and she has these super custom branded elements here where she's got these icons over top of her like brand color background, and she's got these little yellow brand color stripe elements here, and she's got this nice footer with these brand color icons and everything. And so um, this site, to me, as a communications professional, this really has the look of like a website that's been worked on by an ad agency or something. Um, and so that's kind of the next step up that I'm looking to get to with my blog. You can see she's got a logo that she's worked on, or she actually said in an interview that she hired a web designer, so the web designer may have done that. But it looks really, really nice, this whole custom branded look, and I am trying to get there. This is one I really like. I really like the way that this logo is done, the little berries behind the site title on this logo. This is super pretty, and if you look at also, this is very, has a very custom branded feel throughout it. She has amazing photography, and then, at the bottom we have more graphics that are kind of overlaying these color blocks here. And so again, super custom branded feel, really has the feel that like an ad agency has worked on the site or something like that. Um, and if you're really getting serious about blogging, I would recommend that, like, really putting that level of effort into your design of your website. Website design has a huge impact on the credibility of a website. Um, And as this article suggests, 94% of first impressions of a website are due to its design. 48% of people stated that a website's design is the number one factor that helps them decide if a brand or company is credible. So, yeah, I mean, that is super important. And I can relate to this because when I first started applying to jobs, I applied to a job at this ministry and they were looking for someone to help them with a rebranding and everything. And while I was applying to the job, they had gotten a grant from an ad agency uh, to redesign their website, and I compared their former website with the rebranded website, and oh my gosh, I felt so much better about that. I better understood their mission and what they were trying to do and everything, and I felt so much better about the job after viewing the new rebranded website. Even though it's the same organization, it was a great organization, and their purpose was still the same, but the rebranded website looked so much better and made it all so much more obvious, um, the positive impact that they were having in the community, and it was so much easier to use and everything. And so that is really important. I think the more professional your website looks, the better off you are. This statistic says design has a 75% influence over a website's credibility. So visitors are more likely to trust and believe the content if the design is well laid out and visually appealing and easy to navigate. And if it's poorly designed, they may think that it's untrustworthy or unreliable. So you really need to think through this. I'm happy with the design that I have now. I think it is clean and visually appealing and easy to navigate now that I've set up these pages and everything. But I would really like to take it to the next level and have that like custom branded look, because if you compare my site right now to some of these other sites, it looks, like they have definitely put a lot of work into creating a brand and, communicating that brand across their site. And I really want to work on that. So that brings me to my next point. If you are really at that stage where you want a lot of highly customized features on your website, then you probably are getting into the phase where you're going to need to add some more custom code to your website. Now, with WordPress.com business plan, you do have the option of adding some custom code. However, when I reached out to the WordPress support team to ask them, because I hear all the time that WordPress.org and having a self-hosted website on WordPress.org is just so much better for having customization options. And so I asked them to explain that a little bit further. And the response that I got back, they said that while the business plan on WordPress.com does offer a lot of customization options, the WordPress.org gives you more control over the PHP environment and deployment, and so I'm getting the feeling that WordPress.org and a self-hosted site on WordPress.org is probably a better choice for someone who wants a highly customized site like this. If that is what you're thinking and you really are ready to take the leap, like I'm about to, and you want to start a WordPress.org site that is, self-hosted through an external host and have all that control over the web design and development of your site, this is the cheapest option for setting up a self-hosted site on WordPress.org that I have found, because it's free to set up a site on WordPress.org, but it does not come with hosting, so you have to purchase that from somewhere else. So I would recommend, Bluehost if you want a really cheap option, and I will put my affiliate link in there so that you can sign up through me for one of these hosting plans to have a self-hosted WordPress.org site that gives you access to more customization. I will also link to Pressable. Pressable is owned by the Automatic company, and I'm an affiliate for Pressable also. And they also have plans that you can get for self-hosted sites, and you can have a WordPress.org site hosted by Pressable. This is a fabulous plan for scalability for high traffic sites, and it's very secure and reliable, just like WordPress.com. And you get, just the best of both worlds, I think, with Pressable, because now you have full control over your site. With the increased freedom and customization options of WordPress.org, and you have the, reliability of the hosting from the same company that owns WordPress. So um, I think that is a fabulous option. You can check out their plan information in the description of this video. I happen to know that she uses Pressable for her site. You see at the bottom how it says proudly powered by WordPress, hosted by Pressable. So she's self-hosting on WordPress.org with a Pressable as her web host. So that obviously can accommodate for the large volumes of traffic and everything that she's getting on her site, because she is really super popular right now. And So yeah, you'll definitely be in a great company with either WordPress.com or WordPress.org. You'll see if you look up WordPress.com, it says trusted by 160 million worldwide, and you can see these logos scrolling across, these big companies, Time magazine, Intuit that owns, TurboTax, Chevron, and they all have, Condé Nast. They've all got WordPress.com websites, and so you're definitely in good company. As far as WordPress is definitely a very, very trusted platform. This is also a very trusted platform. WordPress.org has been used by, NASA, Harvard University, all of these big entities. And so either one, a self-hosted site on WordPress.org or a, WordPress.com for your content management system, your website, and your hosting, either one is awesome. Just wanted to share with you how a self-hosted site on WordPress.org may be better for developing this like highly customized, designed by an ad agency look, possibly because it could give you a little bit more control over the coding environment and development, web design and development options. So that's just something to keep in mind. But I hope that now that you have been introduced to WordPress.com and WordPress.org, that you are excited to go ahead and get started and dive into the capabilities of this amazing platform. So here we have the WordPress dashboard, and you'll notice some items up at the top. First of all, you'll see that WordPress logo up in the top left-hand corner, where you can click to manage your sites. So if you have multiple sites that you're managing on your plan, they will show up here, or if you have a staging site, so that you can test out new changes to your site before they go live, that'll all show up right there. Um, then you have the site title up here of the current site that you're working on, and you can click to visit the site, or you can click on the home page for WordPress. And then there's this new tab over here that you can go to create a new post, add a new item to the media library, create a new page, or add a new user. Then over here, you can read recent posts, recent content, and then here, this is for help. You can search for help topics, and then this is your notifications over here, and then over here you've got your profile, where you can set up different things about, your purchases and billing, privacy, security, and all kinds of things. And then you can also quickly log out through that link. Okay, so on these items on this left side menu over here, I'm going to quickly go through each of these items so you have a feeling for everything in the dashboard. This is your home page, and then you can check these different items on here. Updates, you can see information about updates on this page. And you can update your themes. And then here is your stats. You can view your statistics of visitors, 30-day highlights. You could do 7-day highlights, and change the time frame so you see the number of views, number of visitors, number of likes, comments, and you can scroll down and see all of these things here, which of your posts and pages are getting the most traction, where your traffic is coming from, and all kinds of information about that, how many people have opened your emails, and then um, you can see more information on the Insights tab, all-time statistics, most popular time for people to view your site, most popular day of the year, um, and um, most popular posts that you've made. So, you can kind of scroll through and check that out. And then you've got, here you've got the subscribers tab. You can keep track of how your subscribers are, increasing over time. And then you've got, if you're on the WordPress .com business plan like I am, you're eligible to earn income through word ads, and that income will be displayed here, your total earnings. You can view your plans right here, and it'll list all the features of your plan. And then if you're subscribed to a professional email address, if you've signed up for that through your plan with WordPress.com, it'll show up here if you click this mailbox icon, and then you can click here and log in with your account to view your emails. And then here is the Posts tab, and this is one that you'll probably use a lot. You'll probably be clicking here to add a new blog post a lot of the time. And you can see my blog posts that are published right here, and then if I wanted to go to drafts, I could see the ones that I am drafting right now that I have not published yet, and you can schedule blog posts to go out at a later time, and then there's the trash, so you can trash blog posts also that are outdated or whatever. So let's look at this. If you click on these three dots over here, then you'll be able to view your post, like a preview of your post, or you can promote your post with Blaze if you're signed up for that. That's something that promotes your blog posts across the WordPress network, and you have to pay a little bit for that. Then you can view statistics on the post here, view comments on the post, share the post, copy the link to the post, or trash the post. Or you can click here. So I could go in and, you'll see I've got the title up at the top here. I've got a paragraph block here, H2 heading here, H3 heading, more paragraphs, some bulleted lists, links, and stuff. So that kind of gives you a basic feel of what a blog post looks like and what this editor looks like. But I'm just going to go back to our main menu for now. So one thing that I realized is that if you go to view up here, I'm on the default view, but if you want to switch over to the classic view, you can click that down below that, and that will switch over to the classic view. Some of you might be more familiar with that view. Basically, the classic view has some different options here. You can, in addition to clicking all the way through to edit the post in the post editor, you can also do this quick edit thing here. So you can edit the title of the post here. You can edit the slug, which that is just the end of the URL. So after lauren'sveggiekitchen.com /, what does it say? So this says 15 recipes with cruciferous vegetables. You can edit the published or posted date, the author. You can select, whether it's a password protected or private thing, and then you can also select categories over here. So if you forgot to add this post to a certain category that you wanted to add it to organize this blog post, you could do that over here. And then tags. So categories are required. You have to have at least one category per blog post. Tags, you don't have to have any tags, but how I like to think of it is, categories are big topics like recipes or vegan recipes or something like that. And then tags would be probably a little bit more specific, like if you had a vegan, taco recipe that you wanted to create that this post was about, then you would put taco recipe in here. Or, like um, this post could belong under my nutrition category, and cruciferous vegetables would be the specific topic, the tag. So that's kind of how I like to think of it. Those are two different ways of, categorizing and subcategorizing your posts to make it easier for people to navigate in WordPress. So you'll see as you scroll through these posts, you'll notice that there's a post title, and then above that, you see the categories here listed. So I can click through to the category fall recipes, and then it takes me to a category page with all of my fall recipes on it that you can browse through. And so that's a really good thing to take advantage of. It helps your site visitors easily navigate through your WordPress site and find related posts for the type of content that they're looking for. And so that should help. That should hopefully improve like your time on site, time that people spend on your website, and metrics like that. And you can click here to allow comments or not, change the status of a post so it can be a draft. You can schedule it to publish at a certain time. You can change it to pending review. Um, you can check this box here to make this post sticky. What that does is even after, see, your home page and stuff automatically usually includes your most recent content first, but if you wanted to show a certain post, if you wanted to always show a certain post first, no matter whether you had published other content since then checking this box would do that. And allow pings that notifies you when someone links to your blog post on another site. So anyhow, any changes that you make here, you can just hit update and that will save them. You can select all of your posts or select several of your posts here and then select a bulk action like edit or move to trash and hit apply. And then you can search for posts from a certain date, a certain month. You can search for certain categories of posts here. And you can also, if you have this plugin, Yoast to improve your SEO, then you can also navigate through here to see which posts that Yoast is ranking as, good, or does it need improvement or whatever. And so you can see those at a glance all organized together and decide which posts you might still need to further optimize. You can um, you can also, because Yoast also analyzes readability, you can also filter that the same way there and hit filter to view those posts. We've got these columns here that, the title of your post, the post author, statistics for views of your post, comments. You can see if someone has commented on your post, and then you'll see the date that it was published, that your post was published or modified, and the SEO score for your post if you've got Yoast SEO installed, and the readability score. This is the number of links of things that you've linked to in your post. If you have that installed, it'll add some new things to this table in the classic editor here. If you click on a comment or something on your post, then you will see here it'll take you to that comment, and you can click approve, you can reply to the comment, you can hit quick edit to edit the comment, view the comment history, you can flag it as spam or trash the comment. And you can also, apply, if you had several comments that you were viewing, you could apply bulk actions the same way that you did for the posts. You could view certain types of comments only and filter, and then click here to check for spam. So that's another thing that you can do. You can also use the search bar to search for specific posts. So if I wanted to search for pumpkin spice cupcakes, I could search for that in the search bar. I could search for that in the search bar, and there it comes up right away. So if I wanted to edit that or quick edit that or whatever, it would be, right there. Um, Then the next thing that I wanted to go over is the media tab. So here is the media tab, and this is where you will upload your photos and video files and things like that. So here's a bunch of, photos. Of course, whenever I have a new photo to upload for a recipe, I do that here. And you can, if you have a new, of course, if you have a new photo or something to upload, you can click on Add New here. You can click on Add New here, or you can click the arrow and add through a URL. And then you can filter here to see, your images, documents, videos, audio. And so anyhow, and you can upload new media to any of those sections. And you can, so these are, this will show everything that you've uploaded to the media library up to this point, and you can click on here if you want to connect to one of these things like Google Photos for the library of Google Photos, or Pexel. You can Pexels, you can search for free photos on Pexels. So if I wanted images related to radishes, I could search for that and see what that comes up with on, Pexels, and I could copy that to the media library. And then there's Openverse free photos, so I could use the search function, in the same way to find, photos of something, carrots. There's all kinds of graphics and some photos that come up with that. So that gives you some options of, stock photos that you can work with, and, copy to the media library. So here we are on the General Settings tab. Got our site title, our tagline. You can change the site icon that appears next to the URL. When people look up your site, you've got your WordPress address, your site address. Those are going to be the same unless your WordPress address is like a blog, an external blog that's connected to a site on a different website. But otherwise, it'll be the same. You have your email address that is used for admin purposes, where they email you information about billing and stuff like that. Your membership options, if you want to create a membership site. And then you can choose the default role of new users, so that I've chosen subscriber as the default role because that is the lowest level of role that you can choose. And then if I wanted to grant them more permissions later on, I could do that on the users section. This is the language that my website is in, English, and then time zone. You can set whatever your time zone is, and the format of the date that you want to show up on your posts, and time, and you can choose a day for the week to start on, and then you can choose here whether you prefer to work in the WordPress.com native dashboard or the classic style WP admin dashboard to manage your site, and then you can save your changes right there. Or on the writing settings, and so basically you can set like your post category to anything you want here, but by default it's uncategorized, default post format. You can choose standard is the most common, but if you have like a micro blog with just short little status updates or something, you can choose that. So if you want to enable this feature to create a WordPress post on your blog via email, you can set up a email to do that here, but that's not really something that I use. And then let's see, update services. WordPress automatically notifies whatever services are listed in here, and then your custom content types. You can choose portfolio projects or testimonials if you want. So if you clicked enable portfolio projects for this website, that might be a helpful thing if you're, a creative person, an artist, or graphic designer or something, and you want to set up a portfolio site. You can read about how to do that here. And so there's all kinds of interesting, portfolio templates that you can use and portfolio themes. And so There's that. You can also enable testimonial. That can add credibility, and that's a really handy feature if you want to read more about that. For site visibility, you want to click on Manage Your Privacy Settings, and that will bring up this page where you can choose if you're still working on your website, you can click this circle and your site will be hidden from visitors behind a coming soon notice until it's ready for viewing. You can set your site to public so that it's visible for everyone. And then you have these options that you can check here. You can check here to discourage search engines from indexing your site. And it does not block access to your site. It's up to search engines to honor your request. But I do not recommend checking that because uh, more than likely you want, if your site is public, you want search engines to be able to index your site so that your pages can rank on Google and you can get more traffic. That's probably your goal. So make sure that you leave this unchecked if you want Google to be able to crawl your site and rank your pages, display your pages, and your blog posts. And then you can check here to prevent third-party sharing for your site. It will prevent the site's content from being shared with WordPress's licensed network of content research and partners, including those that train AI models. And then you could also set your site to private so that it's only visible to you and logged in members that you approve. Anyone else will just see a login screen. So, you know, that could be useful. I used to have a private site that was a portfolio site for applying for jobs. I didn't want everybody to be able to see it on the World Wide Web necessarily, but I wanted employers to be able to see it, and I set up a password so that they could log in and view my online portfolio. So, you know, that type of thing, it could be useful to have a private site for that type of thing, but more than likely you're going to want your site public, you know, if it's a blog or something like that that you're trying to drive traffic to. So there's those settings. Um, and then this is kind of interesting, accept a gift subscription. So if you want to, you can check this box to allow site visitors to gift your plan and domain renewal costs. So if you're on a tight budget, you know, if you're like a blogger on a tight budget or something, but you've got subscribers that love your content and you think that some of them might be willing to donate and, you know, volunteer to cover that cost for you of renewing your WordPress.com plan, then you can check that option and you might not have to pay it the next go round because, you know, people that have been subscribing or viewing your site and they just really dig your content, they might volunteer to pay it for you. And then here is the footer credit. You can change the footer credit here. And then this admin interface style, you can choose the classic style, which is the WP admin style, or which is native to like WordPress.org, and so it looks the same way it does on there. Or you can choose the default style of WordPress.com's native dashboard, which just has some different options. And but I actually like the classic style better, so I'm going to leave it at that. And then site tools, copy this website with all of its data to a new website. Transfer your site, your plan, and your purchases. Like, you know, say you had been blogging for several years and you had reached all of your blogging goals and, you know, made enough income where you personally were able to retire from your blogging career and you wanted to pass it on. You wanted to pass on the blog to someone else and you know, have them manage it and keep up with the content or something. So you could transfer ownership of your website and its associated purchases to someone else. So here you could input the username of that other person. Um, and then reset your site. You can remove all the pages, posts, pages, and media and start fresh while keeping your site's address, or you can delete your site permanently. Um, and that gets rid of all the content and the site address. Those are your options under site settings. So here you'll see the options for your personal profile. You can choose to disable the visual editor when writing if you want, and disable syntax highlighting when editing code if you want. And you can also You can also switch the way that this dashboard shows up, change the color scheme of that dashboard according to your preference. Uh, but I think I'm just going to leave it at the default. You can also enable keyboard shortcuts for moderating comments if you want, and you can read more about that here. So that's just like you can press just a letter on your keyboard for certain actions. Pressing A approves the currently selected comment. Pressing S marks the current comment as spam. So, things like that. If that's easier for you, you can enable that. Show toolbar when viewing site, or you can uncheck it. So let's see, right now, if I go to Lauren's Veggie Kitchen up here and I go to visit site, it will display my site essentially how a ordinary reader would see it, except it has my toolbar up here so that if I wanted to, I could go, back to my dashboard, or I could access my plugins or themes or whatever. I could, go to customization, start a new post, all this stuff right directly from this window when I viewed my site. You can click here to manage your WordPress.com account. Then you can click here and enable post by email. You can add a and this will generate a email address that nobody else knows. And then you can send an email to that address in order to make a blog post. And so that's not really usually how I work, but if you are interested in that method of creating a blog post, you can read about it. I'm just going to disable that for now. Then you can click here to manage your WordPress.com profile, and you can, edit your first name, last name, username, web address, about me. Notice it says your WordPress.com profile is connected to Gravatar. Your Gravatar is public by default and may appear on any site using Gravatar when you're logged in with the email address that you have set. To manage your Gravatar profile and visibility section settings, visit your Gravatar profile. Here, it'll ask you, would you like to log in to Gravatar using your WordPress.com account? And then it says this will allow Gravatar to view your user information, username, name, email, blog, and Gravatar. And so basically what that is, what Gravatar is it's like this free profile that you can create for yourself, and there are examples that it's showing right here. So you create a free account with Gravatar, and then it enables this little profile picture and name and bio and kind of little card thing that shows up across your email and your your email, your blog. You can share your social media profiles, your portfolio, your website, all with this one link. And it's kind of like they refer to it like a digital business card. So some people really like that concept and think that it works well for promoting themselves. So if you wanted to, you could upload your picture or your logo and create a profile with Gravatar that would, populate whenever you commented on a blog that had Gravatar enabled, things like that. So, that's that could be useful. I'm going to go ahead and change this to laurensveggiekitchen.com because that is what my site is called now. Email, and that's just the email address that you use to manage your WordPress.com account. So that's where you'll get emails about, billing, renewals, and bills for plugins that you have on the site and all that stuff. So make sure that you use an email that you're going to check a lot. And then you have here manage your WordPress.com profile website. So that takes you back to that same page with your, like Gravatar profile information. Then you can go to your account settings and change, your username or email. Language. You can navigate to your purchases. So, you know, it'll update you about when you've got domain name renewals coming up so that you know, like, if you want to keep that domain name active, that you're going to have to pay that amount, or if you're not planning on keeping that domain name active, then you need to cancel before that renewal date. And then uh, you know, other things, the like professional email services, your plugins, if you have any paid plugins, you know, it'll have all of your purchases, that information there. And then here you've got your, you know, security. You can change your password, your account email, and you can enable two-step authentication if you want. You can set a recovery email address or phone number, an SSH key. Um, you can connect applications. You can enable social logins. If you so, like, if you wanted to be able to log in through your Google account, you know, you can enable that. Also, if you wanted to be able to log in with your Apple ID or your GitHub login or something, you could enable that. Privacy features, choose whether to share information with WordPress analytics tools or not. Request a data processing addendum that will assure your customers that data handling of the website complies with the law. That's usually not necessary for just a hobbyist or, you know, blogger, but if you, you know, wanted to request that, you can. And then there's developer features that you can access here. So um, if you are a developer, you can check that out. You know, the staging sites are really useful for, you know, previewing changes to your site before you make them live. Agency hosting, discounts on WordPress.com hosting when you migrate sites to WordPress.com and promote Automatic's products to your clients as an agency. Free SSL certificates and, you know, support, malware removal. So there's all kinds of things, features that you can check out under that developer features. And then you can click on Manage Blogs here to manage any of your, you know, blogs that are active. And you can go to notification settings here to you can enable instant notifications for new comments and things even while you're not using WordPress. You can which things, likes or replies to get notified about, and then updates. You can choose which types of emails you want to get from WordPress and Jetpack, and reader, you know, subscriptions delivery. You can choose how frequently you want to be sent email. Here's if you've blocked any sites, that will show up here. And then this is the apps section. You can see, you can download the WordPress.com desktop app or the Jetpack mobile app so that you can edit your site, to help you edit your site from your mobile device. And then here is, you know, the support articles, so you can search for a topic there. Those were all of the options that showed up under website and manage your WordPress.com profile website. Now, if you want to, you can add the URLs of all of your social channels here and associate that with your user profile. And then you can click here to manage your WordPress.com profile bio. That takes you back to that same, you know, Gravatar page. You can change your profile picture on Gravatar, and so you can create a free account and set that up. You have a logo or a photo you want to use. You can set a new password here. And application passwords. This allows authentication through non-interactive systems and without having to provide your actual password. So you but it's not meant for traditional logins to your website. This is for like a third party application, which, so that you don't have to give them your actual password. And then here you've got Yoast SEO schema enhancements. That's if you have the Yoast SEO plugin installed, then you'll see that. And you can add this information for, your author page, and then click update your profile. Here under all users, you can see, your own user profile there, and then whatever other users you have given access to your site. I would say like you may create temporarily, you may create external user profiles for, say, a plugin that you have on your site, and you might create a user login for the staff of a company that manages a certain plugin that you have, so that they can actually access your site and log into it and work out the kinks if you're having trouble with that plugin on your website. So you can, grant them access temporarily, and then you can edit their user profile, you can delete their user profile, and you can view users and add new user. Then then you will be able to set up a username for them and put in their email, and you have the option to put in their first and last name, and a website address for them, and you can generate a password for them. You can use the WordPress generated one, or create it yourself and save it. Uh, and Then you can click here to send the new user an email about their account by clicking this checkbox just to let them know that you've set up an account for them. And you can select the role here. So basically, there's these different roles have different permissions. So the lowest level role basically is the subscriber, and a subscriber can basically just read content and update their own profile. So they could go in and change their own password, and they could log in to like a special section of your website or something that was, only meant for certain guests to view or something. So only for subscribers, that kind of thing. And uh, Then there's the contributor, and that's one step up. They can create and edit their own posts, and submit posts to be reviewed by editors and administrators. And so that's a step up. They can, create their own content, but it has to be reviewed by someone else before it gets published. And then there's the author level, where you can create, publish, and edit your own posts, upload media, like photos and videos and stuff like that. Then you've got the editor, and the editor can create, publish, edit, and delete. The editor the editor can create, publish, edit, and delete posts and pages for anybody, created by anyone, created by themselves, created by someone else. They have access to all of that. They can upload media. They can manage categories on your site. They can they can moderate comments. Then there's the administrator, and the administrator is the highest level of permission. The administrator is the highest level of permission for your website, and that's basically what you are as the website owner, and that gives you access to create, publish, edit, delete any content, customize themes, import and export content, add and manage and delete to users, install, activate, and delete plugins and themes. So you basically have permission to, full permissions on the site as an administrator. So those are the common ones, and then I've got these extra ones here for SEO editor and SEO manager. Basically, these roles are just for SEO purposes. I work with the keywords and meta descriptions for individual posts and pages. Now, the SEO manager, on the other hand, is managing the broad technical aspects of SEO and SEO strategy for the whole entire site. So they manage global settings that affect the entire website or blog. And these two things are kind of have to do with the Yoast SEO plugin that we discussed earlier. So they're managing various aspects of that. So you've got all of the information for this user. You can click add new user. So here we are on the discussion settings. So you can check or uncheck these boxes, notify any blogs linked to from the post. So if I link to another blog like Love and Lemons, then it will attempt to notify them that I have linked to their blog. Allow link notifications from other blogs, pingbacks, and trackbacks on new posts. So if someone else links to me, I will get a notification. Allow people to submit comments on new posts. So you can allow that or disallow commenting by unchecking that box. Individual posts may override these settings. Changes here will only be applied to new posts. So that setting is only going to be applied to any new blog posts you create after adjusting these settings. Other comment settings, comment author must fill out name and email. You can click that if you want to collect their info. Users must be registered and logged in to comment, automatically close comments on old posts. If you check that, then you can set close comments when post is a certain number of days old. So like, if you were getting a bunch of comments and it was kind of overwhelming and you just wanted to cut them off after a certain date, you could do that. Show comments, cookies, opt-in checkbox, allowing comment author cookies to be set. Enable threaded or nested comments, and then you can specify a number of levels for threaded or nested comments. What that does is it enables users to reply to comments and then reply to the reply and that kind of thing, and then the response will always show below whatever they're replying to. Then comment pagination, you can break comments into pages if you want. This is very rare that you would actually need to choose this option. But if you did want to break your comments into pages, then you could set the number of top level comments per page in this box right here. Type whatever number you want. Comments page to display by default. You can choose, the last page or the first page. If you've broken them into pages, the last one would be the most recent one. Comments to display at the top of each page. Older or newer, you can, select that as well. Can choose to get an email notification whenever anyone posts a comment. A comment is held for moderation, someone likes one of your posts, or someone subscribes to your blog. I recommend checking all of those so that you get notified, because that's nice. Before a comment appears, you can check that the comment must be manually approved, meaning you have to go in and manually approve each and every comment, or the comment author must have a previously approved comment. So if someone has commented on your site before and you have approved their comment, then you don't necessarily have to go in and approve each individual comment that they make on your blog subsequently. So it just depends on how stringent you want this to be, and how much control do you want to have over that. Then comment moderation, you can hold a comment in the queue if it contains a certain number of links, and this is a common characteristic of spammy comments, is a large number of links. For those of you who've been following my blog and you've read my article about how to get backlinks, you remember I said that commenting on other people's blog posts and linking to your content can be viewed as spammy, so that is reinforced here. So you can choose certain words, and if a comment contains that in its content, author name, URL, email, IP address, or browser's user agent string, then it will be held in moderation in the queue, so it's not automatically approved. You have to go in and see if you want to approve or disapprove. And then the disallowed comment keys, when a comment contains the disallowed comment keys, you can also do the same thing for certain words that if the comment contains it, then it will be put directly in the trash. So anyhow, then the avatars, you can set show avatars or don't show avatars when people comment on your blog, and click So check this if you want to display their profile picture or logo or whatever, and uncheck it if you don't. Gravatar hover cards view people's profiles when you mouse over their gravatar, so if you want to do that, you can. And then so see if I check that and then I hover over here. Since I haven't created a profile, it says profile not found, but if I had a Gravatar profile, it would show up. And then you can choose a maximum rating. So like if some people have racy avatars, then you can choose like, do you want those to display and what level of possibly offensiveness are you okay with showing up on your blog comments. So I have G selected, suitable for all audiences, because I don't really want to get into too much racy content. And so, but you can select your maximum rating for the avatars. And then for users that don't have a custom avatar of their own, you can either display a generic logo or a generated one based on their email address. And so you can choose, this is the generated one I've selected here. You could also just go with this blank template, mystery person. You could leave it completely blank. You could select mystery person, you could leave it completely blank. You could use the Gravatar logo, and there's all these other ones too, all these other options. So anyhow, then you can adjust your comments form, adjust the greeting. I have, leave a reply, but you could, change that to make it more catchy, like this post, leave a comment. I don't know. Then you can choose the color scheme for your comment section to light, dark, or transparent. You can adjust these Jetpack subscription settings and change whether your visitors can subscribe to your posts or comments or both. So here's follow blog. It'll show a follow blog option in the comment form, and then follow comments. It could also click to follow your comments. And so you set that, or if you don't want those, you can uncheck it and then hit save changes. Okay, so I'm going to add a new post. Just going to do a draft just to show you how it works with different sizes of images. Going to hit upload I can hit upload to upload an image. I can select an image from my media library or my phone, or generate an image with AI, or choose one from Google Photos, Pexels, Free Photos, or Openverse. I'm going to go with Pexels, and let's choose this image of the sky right here. So now you can see this is the normal full-size image, but if I change it to large, I can change it to large, or I can change it, and that kind of relatively keeps it the same because it's probably not any larger than the large size that I have set anyhow in its full size. Now I've switched it to medium, which is the 300 by 300 pixels, so this is significantly smaller, and it's scaled it all the way down, kept everything in proportion. If I hit thumbnail, you see this does it a little bit differently. This is scaled down to a 150 by 150 square, and it has cropped the image to a square. And the reason why it does that is because I have set the media settings. I have that box checked, crop thumbnail to exact dimensions. If you don't check this box, if you have it unchecked, then it will not crop it into a square. It will scale it down proportionally like it does with all of the other images. So I'm going to show you how that works with that same image. So now if I go to that draft and I click on that image and I go to thumbnail, then it scales everything down. So the widest dimension is 150 pixels, and it scales it down to that same rectangular shape. It doesn't crop it into a square, so I think I like that setting a lot better. You can click this box to organize your uploads into month and year-based folders if you want. And here are the settings for an image gallery carousel. So if you have a image gallery carousel somewhere in your post, you can set the background color for it to either black or white. You can click to show metadata and check to show comments in the carousel, and you can check this to display all your gallery pictures in a mosaic style. Um, and then podcasting, you can set a category for, you can select from any of the categories that, the same categories that you set for your blog post. You can set a category for any podcasts that you create, and then you can save your changes there. We're on the permalink settings, and basically this is the structure of your URLs for your blog posts, or this, you know, up at the top here in the address bar, you can see it's got my site address /, and then it has the title of my post with each word separated by a hyphen, and then there's, another /, and that's the way that I have my permalink set up. So that's what the permalink is. And so there's lots of different ways that you can set this up. There's the plain option, which just has the title of your site /, and then it has like a question mark and some letters and numbers and symbols, and that I would not recommend that. I don't, because that does not distinguish one post from another very well for SEO purposes. And so I just would not recommend that as a way of organizing your posts. There's day and name, so it has your site title, and then it has the date and then the name of your post if you wanted to include that. You know, that might be a nice option if you publish content that is very time specific, specific to this particular moment. If you're a news website or something like that, and you want to document, updates that, this was posted on a certain date, that might be important for like a news website or something. If it was important to you to keep track of exactly when all of your posts were published, then you could go ahead and choose that. Um, Month and name, that's another option. So it doesn't have the exact day on there, but it has the year and the month and then the name of the post. There's numeric, so it'll say, the name of your site, and then it says archives and has a number. I wouldn't really recommend that. Then you can also change it to just plain post name, which that is the one that I like best. It's just really simple, and it focuses the content on, most of the content that I publish is like a recipe or nutrition advice or something, where the main thing that's important is just the title of the post. I want people to know what it's about. It's not particularly important when it was published, and so I don't want to distract people with irrelevant details, so I like to have that. I think that works nicely for SEO purposes, and it just looks really clean and nice. And then you can also do this option. You can check this box for a custom structure, and so this will have, the your address, and then the you know name of your post, and then you can also select from all these other options here, like maybe you wanted to include before the name of the post, maybe you wanted to include the category, so you could click this button here, and then and so, that could be kind of nice, because the category, like if a post is categorized under recipes or vegan recipes, that would be a relevant detail to include in the permalink, in the URL of the post. So that's, not a bad thing to add if you want, and you can choose, between all of these different tags to add to your post structure. But for now, I think I'm just going to delete that, and I'm just going to select the post name, plain and simple. Optionally, you can enter custom structures for category and tag URLs here. By default, the category base and tag base are just the words category or tag. So, like, for instance, if I had a recipe post, then my URL would go, laurensveggiekitchen.com / category / recipes / whatever the name of the post is. And but if you wanted a different word to appear other than category, then you could set it to something else like topics. And uh, so you can set that here, and you can also do that for tags. So, like if I had, a taco recipe and I had laurensveggiekitchen.com / tacos / um, healthy vegan taco recipe, I would recommend setting up these options for the permalink structure right when you set up your website, like first thing pretty much. Um, because you're going to want to choose an option that is SEO friendly, and then you're going to want to stick with it, because if you mess with the structure of these links, if you go back later and you change it to a different format, that is going to confuse people who have linked to your posts. You're going to end up with a lot of broken links, and search engines are going to have a hard time finding your content online because you've changed the structure of the URLs of your posts. So I would just go ahead and select something that you like at the very beginning and just leave it at that. Um, and then you can hit save changes at the bottom whenever you're done with that. Okay, now if you go to privacy settings, you will see this page, and what this is, a lot of times people recommend that you have a privacy policy for your website or blog that can come in handy so that your users know, so that your users are familiar with your policy and, comfortable with it as they visit your site. So, and you might need it for to comply with certain privacy laws. So, it's often recommended that you create one of these pages. It can be kind of difficult to figure out what to include in your privacy page, and so this section by WordPress makes it really in this section WordPress makes it really easy. All you have to do is click create a new privacy policy page, and you hit that create button, and it will generate something for you that it's analyzing your plugins and everything that you use on your site, and then it, you know, comes up with a privacy policy that would be suitable for your particular blog or website. And so you probably want to read through it just to make sure nothing seems, out of place, but basically it does the work for you. And then you probably want to delete this where it says suggested text, um, you know, uh, after it generates that, uh, so that that's not there anymore, because that just looks more professional when you just take that off. It tells you exactly what to say. You can go in and modify as you wish, and so that's just really handy. Use, whatever privacy policy page you want to use, whatever you ended up calling it, and click use this page as, my privacy policy. And they have some resources here where you can edit or preview your privacy policy page content here. You can click here to check out their privacy policy guide for recommendations on what to include. So, that's all there for you. There should be another tab at the top that says privacy policy guide too, and you can click on that, and it has this, it's a template for your website's privacy policy, and uh, here's here it is. It describes what kind of information you should include in each section, and then there's policies for each thing that you have, your website on WordPress, your plugins, it generates privacy policies for your plugins, and so anyhow, you can look at that information and put it into this template to create your privacy policy if you want also. So here we're on under tools and advertising, and so you can see you have the option to promote your posts through Blaze. That's part of Jetpack, and you can pay to like boost your post. It's kind of like a boosted social media post or something, except it promotes it around WordPress sites and stuff. So um, I've done that with a couple of my posts, and so once you do that, you can see your campaigns in here and the budget that you spent on it, and you can click into that to see, you know, the cost per click, how many clicks did it get, how many impressions did it get, how long did it run, and you know, you can look back and see all the settings that you chose, the language, the countries, the interests that you selected for this campaign. So that can be kind of useful sometimes to get your posts out there. Um, then Okay, so now I'm on Tools and Import. So if you have posts or comments in another system, WordPress can import those into this site. So to get started, you can choose a system to import from below. If you had a free blog on Blogger and you want to import your posts and comments and users from that blog over to WordPress, now that you've switched to WordPress, you can do that. And so anyhow, you can check out these options there for importing content, and then export. Um, if you need to export the content from your WordPress site, then you can choose which content you want to export. You can export all of the content. You can export just your posts, just your pages, just certain categories of posts. You know, and so then you can download an export file, and then you can use the import function in another WordPress installation to import the content from this site to a different one. Um, um, your site health, that's under tools also, and so um, it should give you some feedback here about your general site health, and then you can fix issues. You can see any issues here. It says one critical issue was detected. Um, Critical issues are items that have a high impact on your site's performance or security, so these issues should be prioritized to resolve them quickly. It says page cache is detected, but server response time is still slow. So you can read more about that by clicking the arrow. Here is Here is another recommended improvement. It says recommended items are considered beneficial to your site, although not as important as to prioritize a critical issue. Um, and but recommended improvements can still affect the user experience, so that's useful. It says check EEA compliance with Monster Insights. So you know, this is privacy regulations. Those privacy regulations will soon require you to receive consent from website visitors located in an EEA country in order to use Google Ads or interest demographics or location data, Google Analytics signals, um, and you can use the compliance checker with Monster Insights to check, you know, compliance. So then there's also these tests, 41 items with no issues detected, and you can, you know, scroll through all of those. Shows you details about the configuration of your WordPress site, and look at these. You can look at the information for each of these items. If you need to copy this information to your clipboard and save it to your device, or paste it into an email with a web developer or support person that you're chatting with, you can do that here by clicking this button. This allows you to to export personal data for users of your site, and you can put their username or email address right there and then send a request, and it will download a zip file of all of the personal data for them, and you can send a personal data export confirmation email that, and then there's erase personal data. This lets you delete or anonymize data for a particular user of your site, and you can type their username or email here and then send the request, uh, and then you can send a confirmation email with it. PHP Compatibility Checker. This tool helps you identify compatibility issues with any of the plugins or anything that you are using, because the PHP version of your website might be updated, but a certain plugin might have not updated the PHP version for their plugin, and so that can throw things off, and so you can choose to scan active plugins and theme or all plugins and themes. It's letting me know some of these, this scan failed. This one, is compatible with these newer versions of PHP, but not this older version. And then there's, this one's compatible with all of them. There's, different results you can check out for all of these uh, plugins, and here you can see your redirects. If you changed the URL of a certain post, you went back and edited it to something else, then you can see what it has changed to, and you can edit it, delete it, disable it, or check it. And so if you check it, that lets you know whether or not the new page that you're redirecting to was loaded. And so that's good. So you can, um, see if you're having any problems loading the new URLs that you've set for pages that you've, may have edited the permalink. We have the Pages tab, and this shows, your latest posts that you've published. You can click here to see your drafts that you're working on, scheduled posts, and trash. It's very much like that posts section, and you can switch between default and classic view. And you have the same options, edit, quick edit, copy, trash, or view, to kind of preview what that page looks like. And those same, bulk actions and all of those options up here at the top. And then the next section is comments. And here you'll see all of your comments, and it'll show, then you can click here just to see your pending comments that you still haven't approved or disapproved yet. And so it should show you, who it is. And so a lot of this is from me, just letting me know that I have linked to this post on my blog. These are internal links coming from me, so I'll go ahead and approve these. You want to probably scroll through and see, if it's just you linking to your own post from a different post, then you can go ahead and approve all of those comments. If it's someone else, you probably want to look and see, what they said. Is it spammy or, not, before you approve or disapprove. You have the option, you can approve the comment, you can mark it as spam. If it looks spammy or suspicious, you can trash the comment, you can like the comment, you can edit it. So like if there was something in the comment that you didn't necessarily want on your blog, but you wanted to keep the main sentiment of the comment, then you could, delete, you could click edit and delete the part of it that you didn't particularly want to have on your blog, and then, save your changes and the comment would be edited. You could reply to the comment. So those are those options over there. So that gives you, a lot of options to this little paintbrush icon. This is the appearance editor. So this is where you can click on themes and you can search for a WordPress theme. I have the Futica theme installed on my blog, which I think is just a really great theme. One thing that I really like that it does is it kind of automatically crops all of your images on your homepage to be the same size. So it looks very uniform and consistent, and a lot neater than some other themes that you might install. So that's really cool. I'm pretty happy with the Futica theme. There's another site that's pretty popular that uses it, called NutriPlanet, and so you can see how that kind of has a similar thing at the top where you can scroll through her posts and some of her posts that she's chosen to feature. You can see her latest posts here, and able to display some things over here on the sidebar, her Instagram feed, a subscription box, follow her on social networks, that kind of thing. So yeah, I think this is a really good, solid layout to have, and it's just a nice, clean theme for a food blogger to have. So that's a good thing. That's a good theme for a WordPress.com site. I do recommend that theme, but there's plenty of them to search for. And you want to make sure that if you are changing your website theme that you definitely look through and test it out maybe on a staging site or something, to get the feel for what it looks like before you publish everything live on your site, just to make sure there are no surprises. Because one thing that I will say that I found frustrating about, I used to have this Peyton theme installed on my site and it looks beautiful here, but it didn't automatically crop my photos to the same size like the Futica theme did, and so everything kind of looked really inconsistent. And then I had a static photo, the photos at the top didn't really change, it was just a static photo, and then I had my latest posts, and it just wasn't really enough to work with, I felt like, but it looks pretty, but it's so simple, and then a little too simple, and then not enough elements going on and not enough things for like a sidebar that's intuitive to add, and then also the photos not automatically cropping just kind of made everything look not as neat um, as it could. So you want to check it out, see what all the features of the theme look like before you install it on your site. There's some really interesting options here. You can choose from. You can see what the recommended themes are. You can see all the themes, just the themes recommended for blogs or a portfolio site, business site, store, art and design. It has all these items here that you can search, and more over here. So you can explore all of those themes, and choose one that is great for your site. So these are the themes that are like the WordPress themes and premium WordPress themes that are included, in the um, business plan. And if you have the premium or higher WordPress.com plan, then you'll be able to access all of the premium themes, and it'll either be, for free. A lot of them are for free, or some of them, just depending on the theme. If you Some of them might have a paid version that you can upgrade to, but there's a lot of great free themes available, and you get access to all of those with the premium WordPress.com plan and higher. Free themes, if you want to make sure that the theme you're installing is definitely free. You can also search for partner. You can search for partner themes, and these are themes that are meant to work in tandem with a company's specific company's product or service. Then you can view the themes that are included with the personal plan. This is one of the cheaper WordPress.com plans. So if you wanted to see just what themes are included with that plan, you can filter that way, and you can also view which plans are included with the premium subscription, so you get access to some more themes with that. Um, and then you can also click which themes work alongside of WooCommerce. If you are opening an online store, that can be really helpful that those themes are optimized to work with WooCommerce. And if you have the business plan or higher like I do, you can click here to install a new theme. So say you got a theme, a website theme that you purchased or downloaded from a third-party website, then you can just download the files for that theme, and then you can click here and choose the file that you've downloaded and install it on your website. And then here we've got patterns. Okay, so patterns. The next part of the appearance panel is patterns, and you can view all the patterns here to choose from. Basically, what patterns are is they're little blocks of pre-designed elements that you can add to pages on your website, and so like for example here you have this these circles for team, like if you meet the team, so um, you can display headshots of your teammates here if you're a company, a business, and you've got the people that you've hired on your website, their pictures, or if you are a blogger and you employ like content managers to work on your blog, then you can and multiple authors on your blog, then you can have their pictures here and their name, and so that's like a template. These are basically little templates for things that you can add to your posts without having to do a lot of design work on your own. Then we've got some more specific types of patterns that you can check out. There's under about, we've got, donation. So there's something where you could have a button for people to donate. Here's an arrangement of two images kind of staggered side by side with, some text to describe what you're about, what your mission is, that kind of stuff. Here's a, 4-image grid where you can include a similar thing, a paragraph about who you are, and then relevant pictures in that grid. There's all kinds of different options. These are some blog posts patterns. So if you wanted to add a little section to promote your latest blog posts, there's different formats for how to do that on this patterns, under these patterns options. There's, contact. So then there's some different options for contact pages. You can include like a map of where you're located if you have a physical location, and a contact form for people to fill out. You can choose this one that has your address, physical address, and a map. There's also different ones where you can just have like a photo and a contact form for people to get in touch with you. So there's different options for that. There's footers that you can choose, different ways that you can organize your footer on your website with different information, your logo, different links. This one has location, hours, and contact information. This one looks like it's got a lot of links on it that you can navigate to. And this one's got, the title of your site, big and bold, so you can choose that kind of thing. Then under featured content, there's different things like an image gallery that's, has like changing images, and tiled photos, all kinds of different things that you can feature. So yeah, and then there's pricing. Like if you went to the pricing patterns, they have these different tables all set up that are just all pre-made for you, so you don't have to design this pricing table. If you have products that you're selling or promoting, and you want to describe them and have a button people can click to purchase it, then those are templates are already designed for you, and so you can just pop one of those into your page, and it makes everything just really easy. So you want to include testimonial quotes from people who have visited your site or commented on your blog or something, you can include these little features of what they said somewhere on your blog, and You know, you can scatter images around the quote or format it however you want with these patterns. So hopefully that gives you a good overview of everything that you can do with patterns. Then if you go to customize, this is where you can kind of edit certain elements on your site's theme and how it appears. So um, it'll show your theme right here that you're customizing, and then you can click here to add, remove, or change your logo, and that'll show up wherever it's designated to show up according to your theme template. So mine shows up at the top center right there, and then you've got your site title that you can put in there, and then your tagline. And you can click display site title and tagline or uncheck it. And I've left that unchecked because I already have my site title and tagline in my logo. I don't really feel the need to display it. You could also set a site icon, and that shows up in the search bar up at the top whenever people search for your site, so they could see like a little miniature version of your logo or something if you wanted to set that up. And then footer credit, so you can choose you know, WordPress.com. You can put the WordPress.com logo, a WordPress.com website, blog at WordPress.com, powered by WordPress.com, or hide the footer credit. And that just lets people know it's like kind of like an advertisement endorsement for WordPress.com if your site is hosted on WordPress.com. And I think it also has that if your site is hosted elsewhere, you can, you know, select that. So anyhow, then you can set up your typography here. And so here's your, you know, font family. You can select that and the font size. And line height, font weight, text transform. You can select whether you want it uppercase, lowercase, you know, capitalized, or whatever. And then, and that's for your body copy. And then for the website title, you can select, you know, how would you want that to show up? What font do you want to use? So you can search for fonts here. Um, And then you can select variants here if you want it to show up light or, you know, italic or semi-bold, bold. You can set the, you know, weight of it and the size of the font, and you know, whether how you want it to show up, capitalized or lowercase or whatever, and then the line height for that, and you can, you know, save your changes. That probably wasn't going to do a whole lot since I'm not displaying my site title, but you can see that, how that would work. And then the site description, you can edit these options, you know, the font and everything for the site description, and main menu links, you know, you can do that too. You can set all of those things. That's normal, and I'm going to leave everything like it is there, but you've got lots of options there. And select, you know, how these appear, how the main menu links appear on mobile devices too. The homepage slider title, that's this right here. So you can select different fonts for, you know, how you might want that to show up. Overpass is my brand font, so I'm going to leave it at that, and leave all those settings as is. The slider button, you can change the font on that. Blog post titles, so when someone clicks through to your blog post, how do you want that to show up? You can set the font and, you know, all of these options here. Post content, so the body copy of your posts, you can choose the font for that, and, you know, the size and everything. Post title. This is how the blog posts, you know, appear on this homepage. So you can see like how different it looks if I choose one of these other fonts. But I'm going to save Overpass because that's, you know, consistent with my branding. And then this is for pages on your website. So like the About Us page or whatever, the formatting the font for the title of those pages. And then this is the footer menu for the how you want the font to appear in the footer of your website. So you've got all of those options for typography. And then you've got the colors, and so um, you can right here customize the footer colors for the background of your footer. And then let's see, the background image, you can select a background image there. Menus, you can um, you can choose what menu is going to display up across the top. And so I've got the main menu here, and I've got all of these items. You can click to add items here, and then you can search for pages or posts. Can add categories to the main navigation or tags. You can add those depending on what you want people to be able to click on when they see that displayed up there. And then you've got widgets, and so you can edit the footer with, you can add different things to the footer here, and you can also add social icons to the header, and then you've got the sidebar over here, which I have made use of the sidebar quite a bit. And so I've got all these options like to subscribe and follow on social media follow buttons where I've input the link to all of my social media handles there so that people can click through and follow me. Got some affiliate marketing promotions on there as well, so you can see those. And then let's see, homepage settings, you can choose whether that displays your latest post or if it's a static page. I like to display my latest posts to keep it up to date. Then featured content, this is really cool. So this, you can set a tag name, which I have it set to featured, and then any of the posts that you have tagged with the featured tag will show up in this, image slider up at the top of your site. So that is a really cool feature. Looks really nice. And then there's additional CSS. So if you are kind of savvy about web design and coding, you could add some custom code here to add some different elements to your site's design. You can click on a particular blog post, and then you can set these options to show a headline or a thumbnail image, or um, to show posts that are related to this. So like down at the bottom or something, it'll show posts that are, people who read this post that I did, an Amazon promotion, they might be interested in some other related posts. And you can show a headline so that it says related right there, so it kind of separates these related posts from the rest of the content. You can display the date when it was published, and the context, the entry or category tag, and you can arrange them in different layouts like the grid or the list layout. And so anyhow, those are all options. This is just, it's going to be different with every website theme that you have, but I'm showing you what options I have with the Futica theme, and I have the free version. You get a few more options with the paid version, but you can see there's quite a bit you can do to customize your website theme. Over here we've got the menus, so you can set that up however you want. I've got these are the items on my primary menu right now, but if I wanted to add another item like fall recipes, if I wanted to add that to my main menu, I could add it, and I could put that under recipes. I could make that a sub item of recipes, and then let's see, so you can arrange it that way. You can also add posts. specific blog posts, stories, custom links, and categories to your menu. If I go to my site now and I hover over recipes, you'll see fall as an option for people to click on. They can click on, fall recipes now that I've added that menu item. And I think I'm going to go ahead and remove that menu item for now. The next thing I want to talk about is plugins. These are super important. You have to have the business plan or higher on WordPress.com in order to take advantage of plugins. There's all kinds of things that you might need plugins for. Like a really popular one, for example, is this one, Yoast SEO Premium. Enable the Pinterest rich pins on your blog. And so, like, I'll show you what that is. Pinterest rich pins are like if you go to one of my recipes on Pinterest and you see where it says ingredients right here, and you can read the ingredients in the actual pin before you even click through to the website, then that is a recipe rich pin on Pinterest. And in order to enable those, you have to have this Yoast SEO plugin. So that is part of the reason why I have it, and it also guides you through your posts to help you optimize the structure of your post for SEO as well. And so that's that's really cool. It has ratings here. Um, and it says when it was last updated. You definitely need to check that out because usually you want to install plugins that have at least been updated sometime in the last year, and so this one is super up to date. It was last updated just a couple days ago, really. And so you want to check that. I would check that, and I would check the ratings. If they have reviews for you to read, I would take a look at that. As a super popular plugin that I highly recommend for any type of blogger. Then there's this Sensei Pro plugin, which is another one that's really popular that I highly recommend. If you're creating online courses, then you can install this, and the free version of this will let you create online courses. You have to have the paid version in order to be able to sell online courses. But This is a plugin owned by Automatic, the same company behind WooCommerce and WordPress, and so I am an affiliate marketer for this plugin for Sensei, as well as just WordPress.com and Automatic brand products in general. But yeah, if you're looking to create online courses, this is a great plugin to use. I've got a blog post on it that I will link to in the description. That, as you can see, has been recently updated, and this gives you some different design options for how to format things on your site. If you're interested in that, I've worked with this before, and many times before, and it's really easy to use. So you might want to check that out. There's WooCommerce. If you're launching an online store, then you can install this WooCommerce plugin to help you with that. And then also you can upgrade for more features too. They have a paid version with more features. I want to talk a bit about Jetpack. That is a super powerful plugin that you do have some Jetpack features already installed with a WordPress.com plan, and if you want to read more about which features you will already have with a WordPress.com plan, I will link to these articles in the description. So this article shares which features are included with the free, personal, and premium plans on WordPress.com, which Jetpack features. So you see it's got Jetpack Social, where you can share your posts on social media, commenting features, and share buttons, site activity, an activity log, so you can monitor changes to your site. Jetpack provides these additional blocks in the WordPress blocks editor. Optimized performance, statistics, visitor stats on who is visiting your site, where your traffic's coming from, anti-spam features. And so that is what is available to you with the free personal or premium plans, the features from Jetpack that automatically come on that. And then if you want to click through to this article, which I'll also link to this, this tells about the features that are included in the business and commerce plans, so the additional features that you wouldn't get with the free plan through the premium plan. And so let's see, daily backups and restores. So it will restore your site to a previous point in time if you want to do that. It will restore your site to a previous point in time. If you want to do that, it creates a full backup of your site every day, which is really handy that it just automatically does that. And then if you have to make any major changes on your site, you can download the backup file. I've done that many times before, and so that is really good to have a backup of your site in case you're making, major changes. And then there is the plugin auto update feature. So Jetpack automatically updates your plugins when updates become available. And then security scanning. It will scan your plugins and theme files and make sure that everything is safe. Also scans files uploaded by the site's users. Brute force attack protection, so that hackers can't get into your site. SEO tools. You can craft a meta description. You can craft a meta description or title structure for your site's pages and posts, and preview how it looks on search engines and social media. Video press plays your website's videos on all modern devices and screens, and no intrusive ads or anything. And then Jetpack Boost optimizes your site's performance for SEO purposes, site speed, and minimizes the time that it takes to load all of this code and everything, and ensures that your images are not too large, and all that. And then there's the search feature. Jetpack Search helps your visitors find the right content right when they need it. Those are the extra features that you get with the business or commerce plan. And so I will link to this article also in the description. And now this is included with WordPress.com, but if you have a self-hosted WordPress.org site, you're using WordPress.org instead of WordPress.com, and you have a different website host, you probably are not going to have Jetpack already installed, and it's really useful. So I would highly recommend that if you have a self-hosted WordPress site, if you have a self-hosted WordPress.org site, that you look at Jetpack and some of those features, and they have several different plugins that you can install to get those features activated on your site. And a lot of these plugins are free and some of them are paid, but you can get a really good deal on them right now with the Black Friday sales. A lot of them are like 70% off, so that is amazing. I will link to that in the description as well, so you can go ahead and take advantage of the offer. So if you're a food blogger, you probably want to have a recipe card plugin on your blog, and I'm going to use this search bar to search for one that is really popular that I'm actually using right now. It's called WP Recipe Maker, and so if you click on that, then you'll see that this is in fact a free plugin to install and activate, and it's amazing what this plugin does. Okay, it lets you have a recipe card on your site that is optimized for search engines, this JSON LD metadata, and it will help you improve your SEO, and it has that functionality inside of it compatible for Pinterest rich pins like I was talking about earlier, and yeah, it's really amazing that you can get everything you can get with this plugin for free. I actually didn't realize how many features this plugin had for free until I got to reading about it recently. And as you can see, you want to check, like I said, that it's been updated in the last year, and it has, so this is certainly up to date. You see, before I was using this plugin, Tasty Recipes by WP Tasty, and so it offers, the same benefits, a lot of the same features, and you can really easily go in and just set it up to look all pretty with your brand colors, and it's just a really easy to use plugin for busy food bloggers that optimizes your content for the SEO, and it has that rich pins, Pinterest rich pins functionality included in that. And it's $49, which is not a bad price for the year. Um, and a lot of people really like Tasty Recipes, and it's kind of considered the gold standard for food bloggers. So I'll go ahead and link to that in the description of this video if you want to check that out. But at the same time, what I realized recently is that I'm on a super, super tight budget with my blog, and I wanted to look for as many ways as possible to minimize the input cost through like free versions of plugins and, canceling subscriptions that I didn't necessarily need. And so I was really trying to pare it down to just the absolute basic, must have input costs and get everything that I could possibly get for free. So I did a little bit of research, and I realized that this food blogger, Beth from Budget Bites, if you click on her recipes and you go to jump to recipe, you'll see her recipe card here down at the bottom, and she's got a lot of the same functionalities on here that are available with WP Tasty's Tasty Recipes. She's got, the title of the recipe, she's got a description, she's got all of these, the prep time, the cook time, the, total time, the ingredients and instructions, and links to her equipment that she uses, nutrition facts, and it's all like really well formatted, like custom branded for her site, and I wanted to know what plugin she was using because this looks a little bit different from the Tasty Recipes templates, and it also looked to me like she probably used some custom code to get it to look that super in brand for her site. I'm sure she did. But I also happen to know that since she founded her whole blog on the concept of, budgeting and saving money, that it was highly possible that she had found a free solution that worked really well. So I started researching, and I realized that she is using WP Recipe Maker. And that I'm sure that in order to get this level of customization, that she said in an interview that she hired a web designer to work on her website. So I'm sure that the web designer was able to come up with some coding, that custom code that helped her get this really super nice branded look on the recipe card. But um, as far as the basic functions of it, a lot of these elements here for saving or printing the recipe and the ingredients and all of this is included, out of the box with WP Recipe Maker, and it's a free plugin. So I was like, wow, if you can get a recipe card to look this good with a free plugin, I'm all about that. And I happen to know after researching, I wanted to make sure that the WP Recipe Maker was included that schema markup language, the JSON LD structure for optimizing your recipes for search engines, and was compatible with the Pinterest rich pins, and I wanted to make sure that it had a lot of those key features that I liked so much about the Tasty Recipes plugin, and it does. And I wanted to make sure it was updated in the last year, and it is. So I went ahead and installed this on my site, and I haven't gotten into the nitty-gritty design details yet, but as far as the basic layout of it, it's very similar to the WP Tasty's Tasty Recipes. You can see I've already got the print recipe and pin recipe options, all of the, time and serving information, equipment, ingredients, instructions, and keywords. It's all right there, and I know that this is in an SEO friendly format for search engines and for those Pinterest rich pins that I like so much. And so all of that is working beautifully. And plus, there's this, this jump to recipe and print recipe up at the top of your blog post. That works really well if someone just wants to go and find those links at the very beginning of your blog post without having to read through all of your content. If they just want to get right to that recipe card to start cooking, or print your recipe to go shopping and get the ingredients. So um, it so it enables those just like Tasty Recipes does. You can read about all the features of WP Recipe Maker here. Um, it mentions that, schema markup for search engines, and the metadata, for Google, and let's see, and shoppable ingredients with Instacart. So if you're a member of the Instacart Tastemakers affiliate program, you can add shoppable recipes just like you can with Tasty Recipes, and you can create Pinterest rich pins, and it's print recipe, jump to recipe. Those are options are available, and adding photos and videos. And it will look good on any device. It's a responsive template, and you can import your recipes from other plugins. So if you were using something else, you can import it easily to WP Recipe Maker. And it even has this option for recipe roundup posts, which I have not tried this yet, but it looks like built into this free plugin is an additional feature that not only allows you to create a recipe card, but it also allows you to create a roundup post of your recipe, similar to WP Tasty's Tasty Roundups. Here's an example of that, a preview. Like I said, I have not tried this myself, but here's some samples of what they say it looks like on a website when you do this. So you can create like listicles of, you know, uh, 10 healthy vegetarian recipes, 30 high protein vegetarian recipes, whatever, and organize, your content so that you can create these like listicles that work really well, that are popular. That type of content's really popular on Pinterest and other search engines and social media platforms. So having this roundup feature is really nice. And it's amazing, that you can get a recipe card and be able to create posts like this with this free plugin. Also includes the metadata for search engines, so that they know it's a collection, a listicle, a collection of recipes or blog posts on a certain topic, and it'll optimize that to show up well in search engines too. So that is really, really neat. Like I said, I'll complete another tutorial and upload it once I get more into the nitty-gritty details of designing. I don't know if that's more complicated than it is with the Tasty Recipes and Tasty Roundups, or not, but if you don't mind, if you're on a super tight budget and you don't mind putting a little bit of time into the design of your recipe cards and roundups, I think that this WP Recipe Maker is an awesome choice, and I just wanted to share that with you, because I just found out about everything that this offers, and I wanted to, it's great as an affiliate marketer for me to be able to hit that sweet spot of a product that you really need for your website, that I am also an affiliate marketer for, and I can promote to you, and you can purchase it through my link and everything. But I also wanted to be transparent about the free options available, if they're whenever I find out about them. And so this looks so far to be a really good free option. One thing that I will say that you still may want to purchase from WP Tasty even on a tight budget would be the Tasty pins, because so far I really have not found another plugin to optimize your blog images for Pinterest that has all the features that Tasty Pins has. So I'll certainly link to my tutorial about the Tasty Pins plugin in the description of this video if you are interested in installing that on your blog to optimize your blog images for Pinterest. If you purchase a plugin from a third-party site like WP Tasty, you can also click here to upload the plugin and drag and drop whatever files you've downloaded from that site after your purchase. And then you can click here to manage your installed plugins that you already have installed. So this shows the plugins that you already have installed. You can deactivate the plugins. After you deactivate a plugin, you have the option to delete it. And then some of these also come with different options like support or upgrade to the pro version or access settings. So you can see all the plugins that you have installed here, and you can check these boxes and then select a bulk action to activate, update, enable auto updates, or disable auto updates, and then hit apply to apply that bulk action. You can view only your active plugins. You can view your inactive plugins if you wanted to go ahead and just delete all your inactive plugins. You can see which ones you have auto updates enabled for or disabled for. You can search for a specific plugin using the search bar here. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up the side menu there on the dashboard. Most of these other things that you'll find are just from plugins that I have installed. So I've gone over most of the universal settings available on WordPress. Okay, so as you can see, I've got this post pretty much written. I've got the title, I've got an image block, some paragraphs, a table of contents, and then I go into a description of each plan that WordPress.com has to offer. So I'm just going to jazz up this post a little bit with a few extra photos and graphics. Okay, so to add a new block, you can just hit return on your keyboard and click this little plus sign, and then it will come up. You can search for whatever block you wanted to add, like a heading or a paragraph. What I want to do is add a pattern actually here. So I'm going to go to this block inserter up at the top, and you see there's 3 columns: blocks, patterns, and media. So I'm going to choose patterns, and then uh, I'm going to go to pricing, and that's going to bring up some options for pricing tables. I'm going to choose this 3-column layout. Um, and I can X out of that now that I've chosen the pricing table that I want, and you can see it in the editor. Click this icon here to show the block settings. And so this pattern is made up of essentially blocks. And so that's what another thing that I wanted to point out is that those pre-made patterns are basically designed using the WordPress blocks. So you can see how this is structured. You've got, H3 block, a paragraph block, you have a button, and you've got another paragraph block with this list here of features. So if you wanted to go in, and this whole thing is just made up of columns, and so if you wanted to go in and create something like this yourself without using a pattern, you could. You could go click on a the block inserter and go to columns. Now, if we go to preview this post in a new tab, then we can see what that pricing table looks like. And now what's interesting is you can see how the rest of my content, my paragraphs and my headings and everything have they've wrapped around the sidebar here, so they're not interfering with it, but this pricing table has expanded out into the sidebar area, which makes it difficult to read. So now in order to edit that on a pattern, what you would have to do is you would have to go into the CSS files of your theme, and you would have to enter some sort of code to set the maximum width of your content for patterns to be narrower. And so for purposes of this tutorial, that's a little bit out of the scope of what I was going to get into, so I'm going to show you another option of how you can create a pricing table like this. So if you analyze this pattern for the pricing table, basically this is made up of blocks. And so you can see in the block editor over here, once I click on this, it says that this is a column block with 3 columns. And then if you click on each individual one, you can see that the background is set to the light gray, and then it uses the default text color. So and then these different elements in here, these are all blocks. There's the heading block, there's a paragraph block right there. This is a button block, and that's interesting. You can set the button to, different widths depending on how large or small you want that to be. Border radius on that, and on the button, and less or more round. And then you can set, different things about the typography and color. So anyhow, fill or outline style. So anyhow, and then these are more paragraph blocks right here where it's talking about the features. So you can see that these are all just essentially blocks that you have available to you in your WordPress block editor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just hit return again after that last paragraph and click add block, and I'm going to add a columns block, and I'm going to add 3 columns, and then you'll see I can click to add blocks within those columns. I'm just going to click on the column to select it, and then I'm going to go over here to styles, and I'm going to choose a background color of this pale cyan blue, and I'm going to add a heading block, and suppose I'll make that an H3, and then I will write free, so I can talk about the free plan with WordPress, and then I'm going to hit enter or return, add another block for a list, so I can list the different features of this plan. I'm going to hit return again and add another block that is a button, and I'm going to go $0 per year for the cost of the free plan. When I select this button block, I can change the background color in the typography. Go to the settings, then I can justify its center, and I'm on the setting tab. I can adjust the width of this button, so if I wanted to make it really narrow, or I think I'm going to go with like kind of a medium width like that, so the buttons can be consistent. Just save my changes so far. And I'm going to view the post in a new tab, and I'm going to scroll down to where that is, and you'll see the button right there, but it's kind of brushing up against the bottom of the background color, this rectangle, this blue rectangle, and then also you'll notice that the text, the heading text, is kind of like right up against the edge of this box as well, and so that is because this does not have padding, and normally there is a setting available in the columns block for each column where you can go in and you can adjust the padding, but I am not seeing that at all, and so I'm going to have to reach out to the WordPress.com support team. They are a fabulous support team, so I'm sure they'll be able to help me figure that out. I might play around with the alignment, see how it looks centered. Maybe I will do all of this content centered so that it creates more space. So now I've kind of got my pricing table how I want it, and it's going to look a little bit different in the editor. Sometimes the spacing looks a little different in the editor than it does when you preview it, so that's why you want to click, you can click this option to view the post, preview it in a new tab, and so when I scroll down, you see it's basically how I want it. Everything is approximately lined up, and so I'm pretty happy with that. You see, I added some little spacer blocks after the text on some of these that didn't have quite as many bullet points, and so I may go back and edit this content later because I want to probably make sure that I'm reflecting each and every feature that is not included in the free plan on these, but this is just to start out with. This is a basic overview of just the main benefits of each plan, and if there was extra space, then I added a spacer block to even out the space, so these are all relatively the same space-wise. And then and you can adjust this like slider here to a certain number of pixels. So now that you've seen that, the spacing, and you can see I've set the button, color to, the background to black, highlighted the text and set it to white, and then I've got links here. I have my affiliate links from Automatic that I linked to the text here. So basically all I had to do for that was I just highlighted the text and then I clicked this. Right now it says unlink because I already have a link here, but it'll normally not have that line through it, and it'll say link, and you click on that, and then this box comes up and that's blank, and then you just copy and paste your link there. And this is important to note, if you're an affiliate marketer and you have affiliate links that you're copying and pasting, then you want to mark it as a no follow link, because that lets Google know that this is something that you can earn money from, and so it's not supposed to count SEO wise. It's just, something that's like an advertisement. You remember how these columns were, it was a 3-column layout, and so if you select here, you can see this selects all 3 columns, but also I grouped these 2 sets of 3 columns together into a group so that I could move them around in the blog post together. That's a really handy feature. But you can select everything like that, and then you can hit group, and it groups it together, and that makes it easier to like move this whole group around. So you can move that, further down in the post, but I want to move it back up to where it was. Yeah, that shows you kind of the basic features of that, how to work with the columns and how to work with the block editor, and how you can create fancy elements like pricing tables that look really nice and have all the information that you want without, without having to rely on fancy coding or anything like that. Let's get into some images, adding images to the blog post. So let's see. What if I wanted to add an image and kind of wrap this text around it? Well, I could hit return here, and then I could go for the image block, and I could select an image from, let's see, if I went to Openverse, and let's see if I type in, blogging, what it comes up with. Let's see, I'm going to try pixels now, blogging. And we'll select that one for now, let's see. So this image right now at full size, that's pretty large, but let's see, what if we changed the resolution to large? What would that be? That scales it down just a tad. Could change it to medium, and that scales it down a lot. Or we could change it to thumbnail, and it would be even smaller. I'm going to go with medium for now, and then let's see, you can apply a duotone filter if you want. So like if you wanted to give this kind of an artistic effect, You could apply any of these colors. You could make it black and white with the grayscale option. Um, Grayscale options. You could apply these other filters. Um, I'm going to select this one for now. You can change the alignment. So let's see if I go align left. See how nice that is? By changing this alignment, it will automatically wrap your text around the picture. So let's undo that real quick. See, before I had no alignment selected, but you can click align left, and that will wrap this text that was, it was below the picture. This paragraph was below this picture, and then when I clicked on the picture and clicked align left, it wrapped the text around it. So that's a really neat feature. You could also align center. If you align it center, it will populate above the paragraph and be centered above the paragraph. You could align it on the right side, so the photo will show up on the right side of the paragraph. The paragraph will wrap around. You can do wide width, but you see, if I do wide width, now the photograph is its full original width, and so it has, but we have scaled the resolution down previously to make the photo smaller, and then it's expanded it again. So if you did want to select this wide width option, I would select a larger resolution, like large or full size, so that it gives you a crisper image. But now the other option you have is full width, and so that does, you know, the full width of the photo, and that's another setting where you would want to have it set, the resolution set on full size so that the photo is not blurry. But for purposes of this, I want to change my alignment back to align left, and see, since we still have the resolution set on full size, it did not do the wrap around the text. It has to be a smaller size in order to do that. So see if we try it with large, that wraps part of the text around it, but that looks really funny, so we want to make sure that we select medium like we had it before. So anyhow, I'm happy with that, the way that looks with the text wrapped around it there. And so I'm going to hit save. I'll select that one for now. I can always change it later, but let's see. So I'm going to go with a medium resolution photo, scaled down like we did before, and I'm going to choose the alignment to align right, so it wraps around this paragraph and aligns it to the right. I'm going to choose one of these filters. Let's see, and I'll go ahead and save the changes. Like if you really did want to custom code a pricing table or something, if you're savvy with HTML, there's a code block. You can type in HTML, click here, and you can write your custom HTML. This is also a really handy block for whenever you're an affiliate marketer and they have those banners. You have to copy like a code, an HTML code for them to display, like this. This is where I copied and pasted an HTML code from Share Sale for that banner to display, and I used that HTML widget there, and same for this. I copied and pasted that banner for the you know, automatic affiliate program, and then, you know, WP Tasty, I copied and pasted code for that. All of these banners that I have on my sidebar work like that pretty much. And it's really neat because, you know, when they code it so that it has the image in there and the link, you know, then people can just click on that image and they can be directed to the website that you are promoting and make a purchase, and you get, you know, a commission as an affiliate. So anyhow, so that's really cool, and that's how you would set that up with one of these HTML blocks. You just grab the code from Share Sale or you know, whatever affiliate network you're with, and just paste it into that HTML block, and you can toggle, you know, between the HTML code and preview what it actually looks like, what the image actually looks like. So that's another neat option. And then let's see, there's, you know, social media share buttons that I can choose. So if I click add block and I go social sharing buttons, then I can click here, and then it says click plus to add a sharing button. So if I clicked, you know, this, then I could choose one of these to share it on, you know, Facebook or LinkedIn. A good way to do that might be with columns. Go to columns and select like 3 columns or something, and that way, you know, the buttons show up all nice in a row. So I'm going to search like that again for the social share buttons, sharing buttons, and you click the plus sign to add a button, a sharing button, and you can add a Facebook button, a let's see, sharing buttons, you know, Twitter, and then you can click, let's see, sharing buttons, and LinkedIn. So if I wanted to add those 3, you know, there you can see it shows up there, and I can add, you know, share this post on social media, and I'm going to make that bold. You highlight the text and then just make it bold, and then I'll hit save. So that's kind of nice, because then you get some options for them to do that, you know, that are right at the beginning of the post. You know, you'll notice that the social sharing buttons that automatically show up on the post don't show up until the very end. So, like, you know, that's kind of a long way. They'd have to scroll down, read the entire post, or at least jump to this recipes section, you know, before they even saw these options to share your post on social media. So if you want that to show up sooner, you can, you know, add these little blocks for the social sharing buttons earlier on in your post. So that's a nice feature. I can't remember, I think there is a social sharing block plugin that I may have installed in order to be able to access these. So if you're installing new plugins, you might want to search for social sharing block. There's all kinds of things. So, like, you know, if you wanted to do a quote, you could, you know, type out a quote if you had a customer, and it, you know, formats this in a specific way. You see with this little line over on the side, and I could type out like a testimonial quote, like, these are the most amazing deals on WordPress.com plans I have ever seen. And you could do like an image gallery. That's another thing that you can do. So like gallery, image, and select images. You know, I could go to pixels, and I could, you know, select blogging again. Search for that. Several different images. You know, select. It's like 4 different images, and then it's arranged them in this gallery style, you know, layout. So you can see, like, I've got 3 that are about the same size, and then I've got this larger one down at the bottom. And you know, you can click on that whole thing to adjust the gallery settings. It's set right now on crop images to fit the gallery setting. You can unselect that, but a lot of times it looks better if you go ahead and select that. Randomize order. You can increase the number of columns, and so when you do that, if you it was 3 columns, and so it had just 3 images displayed in a column, and then this one was large on the bottom. But when I upped it to 4 columns, then now all of these images are displayed side by side in you know, columns, 4 columns. And you can edit these individual images too, just like you would with anything. You can adjust the resolution. You can you know, change the color scheme. So anyhow, you can make images rounded if you want, if you prefer that look. I think I'm just going to go ahead and I will delete that for now. I don't really think I need a gallery there. but if you wanted to, you can see that's another really cool feature of WordPress, something you can do in the post editor. And to delete something, you just click on these three dots up here and then click delete, and it should delete the block. And you can save your changes. Here's something, a YouTube video. I have a YouTube video where I talk about these savings on WordPress.com, and all I did to get this YouTube video to be embedded in this post is I just hit enter, or hit return there, and I clicked on the block editor, and I went to YouTube, and you click that little YouTube embed button, and then you can literally, I could just copy and paste the URL from that video and to that little box and click embed. And there you have it. There's this, the tutorial, it pops right up, and then people can click that button right there to watch it in your post without having to leave the site and go to YouTube. So I think it's so much handier in that aspect than just including a link to your YouTube video, because this is more visual interest. The cover of your YouTube video will draw them in like a photograph or something would, and then they can click to play and like watch your whole tutorial or whatever right here without ever having to leave the blog post. So if you want them to stay and finish reading your blog post and stay on your blog for longer, but you still want to share that YouTube video, I think that's an awesome way to do that. As you can see, there's just tons and tons of different, options here. If you scroll through the blocks, you'll see it's just, the possibilities are endless for all of this, for all of these things that you can include. Going over here and looking at all the blocks and familiarizing yourself with these is a really good first step thing to do. So this is really good too, because since I was working on a post that is talking about these amazing deals that you can get with WordPress.com, now you can see that literally you are saving if you purchase, choose to purchase annually rather than paying month to month, you can literally get over half off your plan. Like this personal plan that is normally $48 a year, and you can get it for $21 a year if you pay the whole sum up front, and if you pay annually rather than monthly. And so I just wanted to point that out. These are some pretty incredible deals that you really don't want to miss out on. I really wish they had this going on when I first signed up for my WordPress.com plan. So if you want to get started with a free site just to see how WordPress works, you can go ahead and do that. It won't have quite as many features, but it's still a really good platform to work with. And then if you wanted to upgrade a little bit, you could upgrade to a personal plan, and gives you a few more options. Premium plan gives you access to some more themes and more storage space, and you can connect Google Analytics if you want. And that's what I did when I very first started my blog. I was on, I think, a premium plan, and that's really cheap, really cost effective. It did not allow me to install the plugins like I like to use now, but just for getting the feel of blogging and having access to all of their premium themes, and having some more storage space, and using analytics and stuff like that. I mean, it's that is a really good deal. So if you're, a hobbyist, but you're kind of in between, thinking about turning your blog into something bigger, you might want to experiment around with, one of these plans like the personal plan. I've got the business plan, which that's what I have now, and so normally this plan is $300 a year, and you can get it right now for just $186 per year, and it allows you to install plugins like I was showing you for those posts, for blog posts that involve recipe cards like I was showing you, this blog post where I have a recipe here, and I've got WP Recipe Maker, and this awesome recipe card that optimizes my recipe for search engines and all that jazz, makes it easier to read. You can install plugins that will help you do neat things like that. You can install custom themes. You get 24/7 support, access to their support team. And you have all these options for, development and extra options for, customization of your site. So the business plan is a really awesome deal. It works perfectly if you're a serious blogger and you're really looking to, make money off of your blog, and you're really looking to improve the SEO of your blog. Then the business plan on WordPress.com is great for that. And that is what I have on my site now. And at just $186 per year, that is literally less than $1 a day, way less than $1 a day that you are spending for this amazing website with all of these amazing features. So this is also another step up if you wanted to start an online store. You can do that now for $346 per year if you pay annually. And again, that's less than $1 a day, which is mind-blowing for a site that lets you actually, integrate WooCommerce and sell products online. So that's that is fantastic. And then there's also this other option here for large corporations and news organizations and stuff, where you can get the enterprise plan for maximum scalability and security and all that. And so you can click here to learn more about that if that interests you. And the price varies from company to company, but you can learn more about that. So anyhow, these are just absolutely incredible to die for deals, and there's even more deals coming up with the Black Friday and Cyber Monday and all that, and I will be linking to those deals in the description so that you can take advantage of those through my affiliate links and purchase and get started. So that is just super amazing, and I hope that you will take advantage of all of this for starting your blogging and business dreams.